in the 80s and 90s. Not quite as frequent since, but it's back. Playoff football in the Bay Area here at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC Wild Card game. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Rodgers going to the air to start things out. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Nick Bosa, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Well, if they have any thoughts of coming in here and getting this road victory, that's not the way to start it out on the first play of the game.
Yeah, one thing you always say when you go on the road, take the crowd out of the game. They actually brought the crowd into it by permitting that sack right out of the gate.
So an early wake-up call there leads to a quick 2nd and long. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Here's Rodgers.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football.
And certainly, look, you're on the road in the playoffs. That is a suboptimal start, opening drive INT.
And, partner, sometimes I wonder, do these teams talk about it to such an extent that maybe you almost talk yourself into the turnover when you're trying to avoid it?
Yeah, maybe they get a little too worried about keeping the football, and then you give it to the other team right off the bat. And, look, we said it, on the road, this is just a terrible touchdown, 49ers! Jamal Agnew, a 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Niners will strike first here in this wild card matchup.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is, and his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, "Let's go, big boy. You're still our leader."
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw, it's Rodgers. His throw incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Rodgers. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. And the Niners are going to take possession of the football.
But they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
On play action, Lance.
Flush to his right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit after they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
Here we go. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Slot man moves right.
Off of play action, here's Lance.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Lance looking to throw it.
And that will be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy. Good running right there. And this is a man who's a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
He already did his primary job with an interception earlier, but here he gets a chance to be a pass rusher and takes on the challenge of blitzing and makes another big play. That's something to file away and maybe break out later in this one or in a future game.
And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there.
Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. On now is the Packers punter. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Lance and the 49ers now, 1st and 10.
Just shy of the 30.
They'll start with a run by Mitchell.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
On 2nd down and 4. Lance. And it's complete to Mitchell.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game? That's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. In this case, he picks up the 1st down.
1st down, here's Mitchell.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
He's got 1 touchdown pass already in this quarter, obviously looking for number 2, and definitely not playing the check down game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Throwing now is Lance.
It's caught. Mitchell. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
And they'll go for it. Lance.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
He will have the conversion and more than that.
Touchdown! A great effort there. 36 yards.
And the Niners' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've been a come-from-behind team all year. They'll need to do it again as they trail early in this wild card game.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
$17-0 our score after 1. Inside give to Jones. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And that's caught inside the 30. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Even later into his career now, there aren't too many guys that can launch it downfield with accuracy better than Aaron Rodgers.
Now Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
They'll try again with Jones. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. The Packers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and goal. Here's Jones. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. An incompletion there on 4th and goal from the 3. And this 49er defense stands tall down near the goal line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
They were backed up to start the drive, but how about that aggressiveness? Firing it downfield right away. Nice job there getting out towards what would have been their normal starting position.
Up the middle, here's Mitchell.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
On 2nd and 11 now.
Lance.
That's to the right side, complete to Kittle.
Finding space at the 40.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there. From midfield, here's Lance. The same target, same result. It's Kittle.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's brought down, but not before a gain of 13, down to the 13. 1st and 10 in the red zone.
An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
Lance now on 1st down.
This will be caught just inside the 10.
2nd and 5 from the 8. And Lance going to throw.
Johnson with a completion over the middle.
And the Niners are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime.
Lance going to sneak it.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Well, I think the effort was there, but sometimes the defense is just a little bit better. No gain on the quarterback sneak, no place to go.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
They'll try to run with Mitchell.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown.
A touchdown run there from a yard out. Extra point try now for Vedvik.
And the lead is now 24. The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first half scores just like this one.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Rodgers.
Open man, that's Devontae Smith.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now a play fake. Rodgers.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On now is the Packers punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And with a 24-0 lead already in hand, really no reason to try to do anything too crazy here. And he's got some space here. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
On first down, they go back to Mitchell.
And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Lance. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
The slot man in motion right.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Hassan Reddick drops him for a loss of 12, and it also brings up 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Fielded. Now a hit and a loose football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Here's a quick throw caught by Smith. Finding space at the 40. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 47. Up the middle, Jones. And he's got room. 20. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down at the 2. So close. The 71 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Jones is in. Touchdown, Packers. Well, look, this is a team, Charles. They faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division, but they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game, a message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
Extra point up and through, and that'll make it 24-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10.
The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Third quarter, wild card round. Thanks for being along for the playoff ride with us. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Lance. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get the series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Lance now to throw.
And able to haul it in is Kittle.
And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Trey Lance,
59 yards. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
Brandon, you and I have called a lot of college football in our day, but on Sundays here in the NFL, doesn't it look a lot like what we used to see on Saturdays when we called those games?
Yeah, option plays just like we saw, and that was a long touchdown to the option. What you taught me, though, defensively, you get your eyes in the wrong place on a play like that, you're in trouble.
What's the term that's in vogue in the NFL? Eye violations. The offense wants you to put your eyes in the wrong spot so that they can appear in others.
and not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. They'll go again to Jones. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson.
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Charvarius Ward.
And the 49ers are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Down.
One quarter remains in this NFC Wild Card matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Come on, set.
Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop?
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
Well, that'll help the old passing stats. Remember, it was a pop pass, so it's not a wide receiver run there, Charles.
But I like the way that you scored it, and that's exactly how it goes into the books. But remember, he's had success throwing the ball the standard way in this game. And here, this little tap pass, it goes for good yardage, a little something extra in his repertoire.
Here we go, set.
Running left, here's Mitchell.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30.
That looked like a two-deep coverage, which we call cover two. And what that really means is you have corners, what we call rolled up in about a 5-yard area on the outside receivers. Then your safeties are back closer to the hash marks near the middle of the field, somewhere around 10 to 12 yards back. So if you can break through the first level, you've got a chance to run before you encounter any type of resistance from the safeties.
We saw the example of it right there. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting the sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. His kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. To throw, it's Rodgers. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
Now Rodgers, gotta have this one. This is Smith with a grab.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38. And the Niners will continue on as we say so long, everybody.